Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Elena and I am an intuitive reader, intuitive healer. I do tarot videos and I do a lot of weird random art videos and welcome. So today I kind of wanted to talk about the topic of hyper independence and how it can manifest, from the perspective of a scapegoat. However, I know it can manifest in other ways. I'm just going to share my perspective. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. This is just my opinion of and my perspective on what may have caused it. Again, I'm not a professional at this, but if you are inclined to sit and listen to what I have to say, welcome. And if it resonates with you, that's great. And if it doesn't, just keep scrolling. So I talk about, the perspective of the scapegoat and what can happen in that regard. I feel like a lot of times the scapegoat's voice is not heard. They are not taken seriously. And a lot of times it happens because of neglect. Okay. The root cause of a lot of the trauma that we experience is neglect, feeling invalidated. But if people are always busy around you, let's say your caregivers are always busy, and even though they don't mean to, you didn't get the needs, that your needs weren't met when you were younger. So as a child, when your caregivers are not able to meet your needs, what happens is that you try to find a sense of control the best way that you can because everything seems out of control. Your needs are not being met, so you kind of feel like you need to control what you can and keep it close and precious. And if people were not there for you, you learned at a very young age that you can't depend on people. You have to do everything by yourself. They're not there for you to ask for help, so you can't even ask for help. There's no point in asking for help because they're not there and it's just you, so you're just gonna have to do this on your own. Another thing is that maybe when you asked for help, the help that you received or you got was not what you needed. So you were disappointed in what was given to you when you were asking for help. So what happens is that you end up not asking for help because it's like, well, they're not going to do it properly anyways, so I have to do it myself. Because if I do it myself, that means it's done properly. It's done correctly. I know I feel secure in that the work will be done the right way. Because I know if it's not done the right way, it's going to cause more chaos down the line and I don't want to deal with it. That type of vibe. So when I talk about hyper independence and where it stems from, it's basically feeling let down by those around you who are supposed to be there for you. They couldn't give you what it is that you needed and you had to fend for yourself. And it can be incredibly exhausting because you learn over time not to trust that your needs will be taken care of. You learn to not trust that you will be supported and that somebody has your back and that you can kind of relax a bit. It's always like you're always on it. You're always on it. You're always the responsible one because if you're not, you know that there's going to be chaos that happens if things are not done properly. So sorry, my camera seems to want to keep sliding down. Stop. Anyways, what I want to say is that I have also thought about it energetically, like what manifests as a result of that. If you feel like if you don't trust that people can support you in the times that you need them to, you end up not being very vulnerable, right? You also attract people that are not open to vulnerability. Like, so if you open up vulnerably to them and ask for help, they're going to think that you're being a burden. They're going to be annoyed. They're going to think that you're asking for too much or like you're a headache. So it's like you have to try to look at the vibration. I'm not saying that, because people have free will. It's not just your vibration that's causing you to like meet emotionally unavailable or unhelpful people. It's like people have the free will to help as well. But I'm trying to figure out a way that I can kind of assist in sharing my perspective about vibrations and what we can do to shift our minds a little bit to kind of increase the probability of people wanting and willing to help. Okay, so that's what I want to say here. So if you go around thinking like you have to do everything on your own, you can't depend on anyone, you're probably going to attract people that think that you got it all together. Oh, they don't need help. They always know what to do. They're always the responsible one. Like they're totally capable. They're so fine by themselves. Like, look at their lives. They're so responsible. They wouldn't even think that you would need help. You attract people that assume that you have it all together. And they don't even question it. So there's one. Or you attract people who see your sense of reliability and your dependability as an asset or something that they could take advantage of. So they tend to rely on you a lot. They depend on you a lot for their stability and for their structure in life. And that can lead to very unbalanced, unreciprocated types of connections, which can be, at the end, very draining. It's very draining to be there for people all the time and then them not being there for you when you need it. Incredibly draining. Another thing that I think about when I think about being hyper independent is that if I don't trust people are able to help me, I'm going to attract people who are untrustworthy when it comes to me asking for help. Like, they're gonna always let me down. If I don't trust that they can do things for me when I ask them, can you please do this for me? I'm gonna probably end up getting an action or some sort of response where I'm going to be disappointed in them and they'll reinforce me going, oh, I shouldn't have trusted them. I should have trusted my gut and I should have done it on my own. And I think by allowing people to kind of fumble sometimes and, to get clear about it, because sometimes maybe the first time they are there, they want to help you, but they fumbled it. You might want to kind of package that all and be like, okay, well, I'm never asking them again, or like, wow, what a waste of time, or I should have done it on my own. I feel like if people are trying to help, and even though that help is like not exactly how you wanted it, that's an opportunity for you to express yourself and be like, hey, thank you for doing this, but I prefer this way, if you can help me with this or whatever. That's another thing. Another thing that I feel when it comes to being hyper independent is our role, in the sense that, do we even ask for help? If we are let down all the time, we tend to not ask for help. And what is the worst thing that can happen? What's the point of having community? Your community is here to help serve other people in the community. And your job is to serve your community. So if you are serving your community and they are receiving the benefits of you serving them with the gifts and the talents or whatever that you're doing, if you're not asking for help in return, if you're not asking for things in return as a balanced, equal, harmonious, co-creative experience, it becomes an unbalanced exchange of energy. It means that you're always serving your community, but you're not allowing your community to serve you. So you're actually doing a disservice to your community by not asking for help and by not asking for what it is that you need. If you need to rewind that. I'll repeat that. If you are not allowing your community to assist you and to serve you and help you the way that you are helping them by serving your community, you're actually doing a disservice to your community. You're not allowing them to do what it is that they're supposed to be doing, which is to help you. you know? So it involves being vulnerable in terms of asking people for help and knowing that there is help for you, to trust that it will be done, and that you are supported in that. Do not doubt it. That is how you foster a stronger relationship, a healthier relationship with your community. This is how it feeds you as you're feeding others in terms of your service to them. So yes, please understand that when I say this. What else do I want to say about hyper independence and what we can do to shift this? I think, yeah, it's really about trust. I'm sorry that, when you grew up, people let you down. They weren't able to be there for you for whatever reason. Maybe they really tried, but they just couldn't do it. Maybe they were not emotionally mature enough to be there for you. I think Spirit wants you to know that what happened to you in your past doesn't mean, by the people around you, doesn't mean that everyone is like that. It's to open your mind and your heart a little bit more into knowing that there are people out there who are more than willing to help you and who want to help you. It's their passion to help you, just like it's your passion to do what it is that you want to do, to express yourself. Because if you have that passion inside of you, that means there's somebody outside in the world that needs your gifts, that needs your wisdom, that needs your art, that appreciates you for being you. And if you're not allowing that, if you're not allowing them to feed off their passions to serve you, in terms of like, maybe it makes them really happy to organize things for you. Maybe it makes them really happy to gather, this stuff for you. Or maybe it makes them really happy to provide acts of service to you. You're denying them of their joy and their passion. So that is something to think about as well. But yeah, I wonder if Spirit has any other messages they want me to share about this. This is kind of like a very vulnerable moments when I'm sharing my thoughts on things, because I'm just I'm letting people see or hear what it is that I think about. And I'm like, oh. But I also know that if I'm being inspired to share it, my perspective matters. I talk about that, analogy with Bashar. He talks about how it's like people being in a fire, around a big fireplace, and they only see one spot of that cauldron in the center, and that is their perspective to share. And if everyone shares it, then you get a small piece of the perspective and you get to choose what resonates with you or not. But if you don't share it, you're depriving other people from understanding the full picture of things, or the opportunity to choose for themselves what resonates with them or not. So I think it's really important for me to kind of share my truth and my perspective on this, even if it is vulnerable. But I know that it will resonate with the right people. So I think if you are trying to move away from being hyper independent, it is about trusting. It's about asking for help. It's about knowing that you are worthy of being supported in life. And sometimes in life, Spirit, when you ask, can you please help me with something? A lot of that help comes from people. We always ask for money, or be like, hey, we need money and we need this. You know what? God will send you a person or people who have opportunities, who are more than willing to buy your product, who know people who might want to invest in you, who can help network, who can help share your product. People are what God sends to you to help you on your journey. Do not just remove certain ways of help just because it comes in a way that you don't expect it to be. So be open to that. I think that's another thing. And to learn to just kind of relax a little bit. You don't have to do everything. And that there's some things that you don't like to do that somebody loves to do. So let them do it. Let them do it, you know? Anyways, I hope this video helps someone out there. And if you guys want more of these videos, please leave a comment at the bottom. I'm trying to figure out how to I wouldn't say streamline my video content, because I do a bunch of different things, but I do want to hear what my community needs. And I want to try to kind of find balance and try to help my community in the best way that I can too. So anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this video helps you, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.